Today, I'm diving into Samsung's latest software update, One UI 7. It is packed with AI enhancements, sleek design changes, and productivity tools. This update is an absolute game changer for Galaxy users, so in today's video, I'm going to be covering the top 7 features that you need to know about. Real quick, before I get too far into this video though, I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, the camera setup. Real quick before I get too far into this video, I want to talk about a couple things. Normally I use my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra for filming my YouTube videos since at the moment I don't have a dedicated camera. I hope to get one sometime in the future. So I'm having to film this on my Asus ROG Zephyrus G14, which is the only other camera I have. For a laptop, I feel like this isn't too bad. Let me know what you guys think. This will be the only video like this, so continuing on in the future, I'll be back to better audio quality and better camera quality. Another thing is, I tried to get One UI 7 early so I could review it early for you guys, but the Samsung members program was all filled up, and so I had to wait till Samsung rolled it out on the S24 Ultra, which took quite a while, and there was a whole bunch of delays, but we finally got here, so sit back and relax, and let's get into these features. Now, one of Samsung's main talking points when it came to the One UI 7 update was the Galaxy AI enhancements, and there is a bunch of them. So if you go into the settings on your new updated One UI 7, you'll notice this new tab here called Galaxy AI, and here is where you can enable, disable all the different AI settings and tools, as well as getting a description of them. So we have Call Assist, which basically live translates. So if you're speaking to someone over the phone who speaks a different language, Galaxy AI will interpret it for you live, which is really incredible. We also get Writing Assist, which is different suggestions for grammar and spelling and all sorts of things like that. That's been a thing for a while on Samsung phones, but it has been much improved with AI. We also have interpreter settings, so if you're speaking to someone, say you're in a different country and they speak a different language, your phone can interpret for you, which is a fantastic tool to have. We also have Note Assist, which can do a whole bunch of different things in your Samsung Notes app and help you save time with editing notes and things like that. We also have the Transcript Assist, Browsing Assist, which makes web pages easier to understand. You can translate things, highlight things, summarize things. We also have Photo Assist, which you can draw things and add things to your photos. You can also remove things from your photos, remove things around. Taking a deeper dive into what I mean by the removing and adding things to a photo. So Samsung has added a whole bunch of editing features using AI here. You can tap this little icon down here. And now, for example, if I wanted to remove, say, this window right here, it'll grab it. I can hit the erase button, generate, and boom, look at that. It is totally gone. I can do a couple of other things as well. For example, instead of erasing the window, I could move the window to, say, up here above the garage door. And there we go. Now the window's above the garage door. And it is just incredibly cool. And it is super handy. For example, if you were to take a selfie and say you didn't want a random stranger or something in the background, you can just completely remove it, and it's so easy to do. We also have sketch to image. Now this one is not super great, but probably because I'm not a super great artist, but if I wanted to add a window above the garage door there, it actually figured that out pretty decently. That was one of the most impressive ones by far. So this is just incredibly handy tools and just amazing power for a phone. A little bit later on in the video, we have Drawing Assist. So if you have an S24 Ultra with the stylus and you like drawing on your Samsung device, you can use AI to help you out with that. We also have Audio Eraser, which eliminates distracting noise in videos by adjusting volumes of the voices and the wind. And then we have Photo Ambient Wallpaper, which uses AI to change your own photo based on the time and weather. You can set this as wallpaper settings. So super cool features here. Now, not all of these tools are something I use, especially the translate stuff, but you never know when that could come in handy, and I have been using a ton of the editing tools on here, especially the Photoshop tools, the drawing tools, things like that, almost on a daily basis. So they are absolutely fantastic. And I know a lot of people were complaining that with One UI 7, basically all Samsung is doing is adding AI to it. Well, I feel like there's a lot more to it, but these AI tools are extremely handy. Another feature I've been using literally on a daily basis is the Now bar. It's this bar down here at the bottom of the lock screen. So now with Spotify or Maps or some other apps as well, you can just scroll through here. So there's my Google Maps, and then we can go back to Spotify. So now you can see which direction you need to go on your maps, or you can play, pause music, skip music without actually having to unlock your phone, which is so handy. Customization also gets a boost with both the lock screen and the home screen with updated widgets, larger folders, and just overall more organization. On the lock screen here, we have a whole list of options for widgets that you can add to the lock screen now, and you can also customize your clock in different ways. You can have the weather and all sorts of different things on your lock screen now, which is so handy because, again, that's just another thing that you don't have to unlock your phone for if you don't want to. The home screen also got updated widget styles. We have different clocks, different weather widgets, and things like that. And everything is just a lot more simplified and just a lot more quick to access, I would say. So not only does everything else have AI built into it, but the settings have AI built into it as well. For example, if I swipe down and go into my settings, I can go to the search function here and say something like, my eyes are tired. And it will bring me right over to the sleeping apps. It will bring me display things to adjust brightness and eye comfort shield and things like that. So your Samsung can actually figure out what you're looking for based on your physical situation or your physical needs, depending on what you type in there, which is really cool. The camera app has also had a massive overhaul in the design, and one thing I have noticed personally is they've been doing some AI funny stuff with the camera, and let me tell you, I didn't know the camera on the S24 Ultra could get any better, but this thing has gotten so much crisper. The way it handles shadows, the way it handles light, it is insane how the camera quality has improved with the AI stuff that Samsung has been adding into it. But as far as the camera app changes, we have our new drop-down menu here for our settings. It's just, again, overall simpler, easier to use. This also like rotates depending on how you have the camera situated, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we just have basically all the buttons have moved from the top of the screen to this little menu here, which again is just it's more organized, it's more simple, and I personally really like it. It seems that Samsung is kind of drifting away from using Bixby. While Bixby is still on One UI 7, they also have Google's Gemini AI on here as the default voice assistant. If you hold the power button, Gemini will come up and you can ask it literally anything, and obviously just like any other voice assistant, have it do all sorts of functions. And since it is an AI, it can do, it can answer all sorts of questions or do all sorts of things, which is absolutely incredible. Since Gemini is the default voice assistant now, and it's an AI, it can do multiple extremely impressive things. For example, you can summarize a web page and then send that summary to, say, a group chat or a bunch of friends, or you could have it say, hey Gemini, look up where this restaurant is and then send the directions to this person, and this person, or something like that. All sorts of cool things. It can do multiple things at once, not just, one thing. So it is so handy to have, and AI has just, I feel like, improved the Samsung experience so much more. But I do have a couple of bonus features, I guess you could say, as far as the design goes. First of all, in the top, the battery indicator is a lot different, as well as the clock is like a slightly more bold, but also simpler font. I don't know how to describe it. So we still have our battery status there. It's just in the actual battery indicator itself, which is kind of cool. And then we also have a different design as far as notifications and the tools and things like that. So swiping down from one side will pull down notifications. Swiping down from the other side pulls down the tools, and then you can swipe down again, obviously, for all your extra stuff. But if it's cool, if you swipe down from one side, you can actually swipe between the two, which is very cool. And then also some of the icons have changed. So in here, the brightness icon, the volume icon, things like that have changed. And then going back, a lot of the other icons have changed, as far as the camera icon, the gallery icon, calculator. Basically all the Samsung default apps have had a complete reskin, which I think they look fantastic. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions on it, but I think they look great. and I really like it overall. Another thing is your recent apps menu here. They're a little bit more stacked up, which is kind of interesting. But again, everything is just a much cleaner design, a much cleaner feel, and I feel like they've really moved forward in a way that makes things a lot more simple and a lot more easy to access, and it's just, I think One UI 7 is great. I absolutely love it. Again, I know there's a lot of mixed opinions on it, but I've been using it on a daily basis now for quite a while, and I have been making full use of all the tools that Samsung has added, and I really like the design changes they've done as well. So, yeah, that is One UI 7. Now, the S25 series is rolling out with One UI 7, and Samsung just released it on the S24 series as well. I'm not personally sure on older devices, older than the S24, if it's going to be on, S23, S22 devices like that, but it is for sure on the two newest phones, and it is just packed with some insane power. So that's a wrap on the top features of the One UI 7, my personal top features. And let me know which ones you're most excited about down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon if you want more tech content like this. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.